So Bali Maharaj starts preaching about, in this verse 9 of chapter 22, Bali Maharaj describes 7 useless things. Kim atmana nena chahattiyon tata kim rikta hare swajanakya dasyubi kim jayaya samsriti hetu bhuttaya ardyasya gehe kim hihayusho vyaya. Throughout the verse, he says, Kim, Kim, Kim. What is the use? What is the use? What is the use of these various items he lists in sequence? He lists 7 useless things. What is the use of this? What is the use of that? Translation. What is the use of this material body? Kimatmanena anena, which automatically leaves the owner at the end of life. What is the use of one's family members? Swajana, who are actually plunderers taking away money that is useful for the service of the Lord. What is the use of a wife? She's only the source of increasing material conditions. What is the use of family, home, country, and community? They are all useless things. Wife is useless. This body is useless. One's money and wealth is useless. One's family is useless. One's home is useless. One's very place of birth, his country is useless. And one's city, nation, one's city, village, community is useless. Why are they all useless? Because attachment for these things wastes the valuable energy of one's lifetime. Ayusha vyaya, simply wasting the duration of life. Prabhupada explains how such a statement by Bali Maharaj is extremely frightening to a materialistic person. He becomes horrified to hear such fierce words, ferocious, exaggerated preaching. Prabhupada says the common man does not appreciate such a statement because he thinks that during his lifetime his family, society, country, body, and relatives are everything. Why should one give up any of them and take shelter of God? Bali Maharaj understood that surrendering to the Lord is the right action for an intelligent person. His grandfather, Bali's grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, did the same thing that he did. He took shelter of Vishnu, Lord Nrsingadev, against the will of his father. Similarly, Bali took shelter of the Lord, Vamanadev, against the will of his guru, Sukracharya, and all the leading demons. We should not use the body for any other purpose but advancing in devotional service. If we do that, use the body for material enjoyment or material purposes, we're simply wasting time. For as soon as the time is ripe, the soul will automatically leave the body. We are very interested in society, friendship, and love. But what are they? Those in the garb of friends and relatives merely plunder the hard-earned money of the bewildered soul. Chapter 22, Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. Verse 14 describes how Bali was bound by the ropes of Varuna. Then he hung his head. hung his head down. And then why did he hang his head down? Because at that time, his grandfather came to that assembly, Prahlad Maharaj. The verse 14 says that because he could not offer respect, befitting respect to Prahlad, he simply bent his head down, his eyes being inundated with tears, and his face lowered in shame. Bali actually felt that he was an offender to Vamanadev. He was ashamed and hung his head. So Bali Maharaj said he bowed his head, not really to show respect, but he bowed his head because of shame or the offense. He was ashamed in front of his grandfather that he made such an offense of not being able to please the Lord. This feeling of shame is very important. Sometimes devotees offend one another, or we may offend God. If we realize that, we should feel ashamed of our behavior and very repentant and sorrowful. Immediately rectify that situation. One purport later, in verse 16, Prabhupada says that the Lord bestows His mercy upon His devotee by helping him find out his constitutional position. For that purpose, the Lord is always ready to help the devotee in every way. So the context here of the one meaning is of Prabhupada's purport is that material opulence and position was a problem, an obstacle for the free flow and movement of Bali Maharaj's devotion towards Vishnu. He was attached to being sitting in Indra's post. So to favor him and restore him to his position, constitutional position, Jivara Sarupaya Krsna Radharani, as Krishna's eternal servant, Lord Vamanadev took away all that wealth and position. But in an inner meaning of this word, this verse, we could apply this to Raganuga Bhakti, that our constitutional position means our sthayi bhav, and Krishna will help in every way.